ready to get serious about building content sites and building a profitable business online? Welcome to the Niche Website Builders Podcast. We bring you the latest field-tested tips, tricks, and strategies for building a profitable online asset. We interview industry experts, share customer success stories, and reveal our own experiences working on hundreds of sites to inspire and motivate you to make something happen. Let's do this.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Niche Website Builder podcast. Before we get into this week's episode, there's some exciting changes happening that I want to share with you all. So until now, it's just been me and Mark, and we've tried to stick to a one podcast per week schedule. And to be honest, for the most part, we've pretty much managed that. However, as Niche Website Builders as a business continues to grow, it's becoming harder and harder. And the feedback from you guys is that you love the podcast and you just want more regular episodes. So today's guest, James, is also going to be one of our new podcast hosts. James has experience in building and running his own portfolio of sites. So he's going to be great at asking all of the right kinds of questions. And he's also going to be covering topics that aren't just hyper-focused on affiliate or content sites. So for example, his first two guests, they'll be talking about promoting digital courses and products. And the other one will be talking about running offers for high-ticket affiliate programs, things like the crypto space. But don't worry, me and Mark, we aren't going anywhere. We're still going to be recording podcasts ourselves too. But having more hosts to help means that we can focus on bringing you more cool things, additional things such as live Q&A sessions, live workshops, case studies, age domain video walkthroughs, and a whole bunch more. And we're going to be starting that pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. I personally can't wait to listen to James's guests, his first couple of episodes. And if I'm excited, then I know that means that you're going to be excited and you're going to love them too. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode with James and introduce you to one of our new podcast hosts.
This episode is brought to you by Niche Website Builders, an agency dedicated to helping people just like you build profitable content sites. Niche Website Builders are the hands-off content site marketing agency you always wished existed. It's run by content site marketers for content site marketers, and they help both investors and individuals alike build profitable online properties. They provide a fully outsourced approach to content creation, link building, and done-for-you website builds, the same approach they use on their own six-figure portfolios. For example, their content packages come with a proprietary keyword research process, are written by in-house native English speakers, formatted using templates proven to convert, and uploaded to WordPress with affiliate links added so that all you need to do is hit the publish button. Check them out at nichewebsite.builders/show. That's nichewebsite.builders/show and fill out the form to get coupon codes for 10% more content or a 10% discount on links with your first order sent right to your inbox.
Hey James, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
I am very good, and I know you are on the opposite side of the world to me. So what time is it? It looks dark out the window in the background.
Yep, it's 10 p.m.
Yeah, and it's 9 a.m. here in the UK, so it's quite a big difference. How's lockdown going over there and stuff? Is it easing off? Is it doing okay?
No,
now?
we got basically on Sunday, we basically had a snap. Not so much lockdown, but we have these traffic light levels here in New Zealand. So
right,
essentially, they've just made it more confusing than anything. They've changed it from levels to traffic light, and now we've gone from orange light to red light. But not much changes. It just means some businesses can't run and they end up losing money. So
sounds like something from Squid Games to change it from orange light to red light. And
yeah, exactly. And I think we only have, as of today, it was 50 Omicron cases in the community. So they're just preparing for the fact that it's going to get to in the thousands, and eventually we're going to have to deal with it. So.
It's crazy. Here in the UK, we come up to Christmas, it was on the news every day. There was Omicron variation, like running rife. And then during Christmas, it came out that our Prime Minister had been having these secret office parties. And then
that's all over the news here. I just watched it.
And interestingly enough, since that came out, we've not really heard much about how dangerous the new Omicron variation is anymore. And I wonder if it's, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
Conspiracy.
Anyway, thanks for joining today. I'm really excited for other reasons. Obviously, you're going to be doing some hosting of the Niche Website Builder podcast for us, and I know we've got some awesome guests lined up. So today I think it would be cool to almost do like an introduction session so our audience can get to know you a little bit better, understand a little bit about your background, kind of what you're doing, exciting things you're working on. So, I mean, let's take it right back to the beginning. Like, how did you get started in this whole world of affiliate content sites? What's your background? Yeah, take it from the top.
Yeah. So all the way back to the beginning would literally be almost 2 years ago. So you could say still pretty rank beginner in terms of that experience. But
yeah,
I come from a coaching background. So I work in professional sport, mainly rugby and rugby league, as a strength and conditioning coach. So that's kind of how I've come through my career. During my time doing that, I did a lot of writing and things. So I write for various, I guess you could say, sports science sites, even some of the top fitness sites and things like that, to kind of just share my knowledge and content around there. Yeah. Obviously, at those times, I didn't realize you could literally make a blog and actually make money out of writing content, Like back then, I didn't realize, like, if I search best whatever, all those Amazon review sites, I didn't know that people didn't buy the products and were just trying to link me to something. So I gave some people some commissions on a few things, obviously. And then it wasn't until, obviously, the pandemic came along. When was that? Around the beginning of 2020. I started to get my feet a little wet in terms of the blogging side. So I got started with the income school course. So I think that's how most people kind of find their way into the niche site journey. They tend to be, I guess you could say, the most in front of your face in terms of like YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I started there, and that's kind of where I got my first start kind of learning the ropes of being able to structure content, I guess, for SEO purposes rather than just writing. Because I did start, I guess, blogging as such back when you used to follow your own bloggers. So you didn't there was still obviously SEO, but back then, since you followed someone, it didn't really matter so much. I kind of took that approach as well with some other older businesses and things like that. It didn't get any traction, obviously, but I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I took that income school course and I started my own website, but I started in something completely outside of what I do. I started in the pet niche just to get my feet wet. We actually had a pet rabbit when my wife and I were living in Romania. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll do one on rabbits because it means I have to research the stuff, and then I learned how to look after a pet bunny at the same time. Yeah, so did that, wrote a bunch of posts. Lost interest in that after about 30 or 40 posts just because, the topic doesn't really interest me as much. Ended up publishing an Amazon Kindle book out of it too, just for extra fun, just to dabble in something else as well.
No, I was just going to ask, were you repurposing the blog content for the Kindle book?
Yeah, I just took the blog content. Yeah, and then I just hired someone on Upwork just to put the design together, and it was basically like a 101 of essentially how to look after like a pet bunny, because there were obviously things that we didn't know at the time when we got ours, that we ended up buying things we didn't need or doing things that we probably shouldn't have done. So I just ended up making that resource. It doesn't really sell because it doesn't get much traffic to that site, but yeah, we ended up going down that road. And then it must have been 5 or 6 months after doing that site, I decided hey, maybe I could, I've got some of these skills now. Maybe I could actually apply this to my actual career knowledge. Yeah. So in terms of strength conditioning or fitness. And I had a site that I had started in between jobs in 2018 within that niche. And I had 2 posts on there that I just left. Yeah. And the site was still getting like 100 visits a day some days just off those 2 posts.
Wow.
And so I just came back to it and I was like, okay, I'll start posting more stuff on that content. And then since then, I've just been down a rabbit hole of building that one site. Got another fitness site now that I acquired that I'm building content on, and then a bunch more. So since then, it's kind of snowballed.
Awesome. It's interesting you mentioned that you got involved with the Project 24 Income School guys. I had Ricky on the podcast recently, and I think lots of people come in that way, and it's a great kind of introduction. And they do a great job of teaching you content. So yeah, it's interesting you come in that way. But it sounds like you may have kind of dabbled with it even before the pandemic, then, because you said you started this one between jobs 2018. Do you remember? Was that the first one, or you dabbled a little bit before and just kind of like come back to it again? Life got in the way, jobs got in the way.
Yeah, I had a blog spot back in like might have been 2013 or 2015 or something like that. But again, that was just because I was writing my fitness content as someone as being followed by people, not in terms of to rank something on Google or to make money. So even the one I started in 2018 was just like a passion thing, just writing articles and stuff that I enjoyed researching and doing. And then once it got to 2020, then it turned into something for money.
Nice. So just going back to the start then, when you were writing for other people, that always fascinates me that people will write content for other people. They have the skills to do their own sites, but they don't necessarily know it's a thing. How did these writers get in? How did these people get in touch with you to do the writing? Like, what was that process? And then what was the light bulb moment where you realized, like, I should probably be writing this kind of content for myself, not for someone else? Like, what triggered that?
So these sites, they were not like, how would you say, they're not your typical niche affiliate marketing site. These are like, if anyone's in the fitness space, things like tnation.com, and then like the equivalent will be like bodybuilding.com, sites like that. And then there's a whole range of other ones. So writing for those is more almost like just keeping yourself relevant, keep getting your name out there, sharing experiences and thoughts on different topics within the thing that other coaches and other maybe fitness people will read. And then because I still write for some of these sites every now and then. It's actually, I do it sometimes so I can get backlinks to my site doing it that way. It's almost like guest posting for myself. But I also still write for another sports science site. It's like essentially a freelance job where I review some of the latest sports science research every month. And then that gets published in like the kind of like the online magazine kind of thing. They have a subscription thing going on. So I still do that as well, because it also keeps me up to date with what's going on and everything like that. But then in terms of when I figured out that I could do this for myself, it was more, I don't know, I think I must have been just watching something on YouTube because I found Income School through YouTube. So I must have just been watching something and just get, I think it must have been because I actually started trying drop shipping. I must have tried a whole bunch of stuff, but I was trying to drop ship magnetic eyelashes. Just I can't remember what I found. I must have found something that I was like, that's a good idea. Put up a site, like my first site, all that stuff, and then I was like, wait, how the hell is this going to make money? And then shut that thing down pretty quick after not getting any sales. And then I think that led me down the rabbit hole of maybe YouTube recommended me some Income School stuff.
Yeah. I've just got this picture in my head now of you, a big sports instructor guy in the house with these magnetic eyelashes on, testing them out and taking some photos. Awesome.
Well, the best thing with drop shipping, you don't need the product or to test it out. You just throw up the stock images from AliExpress.
Interesting. So on these sites that you still writing for, these sports sites, do they pay you, or is it more of a you're doing it for free to stay relevant and keep your name out there? And then obviously, like you mentioned, the obvious pro is you get a super strong, relevant backlink if you're in the space. But do they pay for that writing, or
some do, some don't, and it varies based on the site. Yeah. Okay. So like the freelance job that I do every month, I've been doing since like 2017. That pays quite well. That's just like ongoing.
Yeah.
But most of the sites will pay the coaches or writers like a pretty small fee.
Okay.
And then some won't at all. But I mean, usually when coaches are writing for these sites, it's more for their own career and to benefit them in terms of in the coaching space. Because obviously it helps with networking as well. When you're publishing articles, then you have people coming to you, telling you how much they like the article, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that makes total sense. It's almost like the backlink and any payment is almost like a added bonus really of just getting out there and networking. And in Melbourne. Okay, awesome. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, 2 years is still, I guess you consider it still relatively new in the space. I want to talk to you, like lots of people. We speak to lots of like customers or people wanting to get into this space now, and one of the pushbacks that I hear quite often is, "Oh, I've done my research. Every niche is saturated. There's no way I can start now. There's people doing everything. Like, I don't know what to do." As someone who's still relatively new to the space, I guess, who's gone through that thought process of, I want to start. Where do I start? Do you think that's true? Do you think it's too late to start, or can anyone start now? Like, can you just jump in with both feet and get going?
Yeah, 100%. Like, even the niche I'm in, it's the fitness niche is considered one of the hardest niches to break into. But
yeah,
and they'll say, they'll advise you not to even go into the niche, which I understand. For like, if you're just a general person who maybe just goes to the gym a few times a week, you want to start a fitness site, I can see that might be an issue. But I mean, man, even niches like that, most of the content is so shit. The stuff ranking on the first page is so bad. Like, you can search even just like the hardest terms to rank for. The content's so bad. But most of the sites obviously ranking just because they have high authority. You've got like Men's Health and all that stuff ranking, which is sad because their content's also dog shit. But like you'll find that in most. Well, I found that in most niches. Like, the content's just so bad anyway. Like, I feel you can find space to break in there, especially as your site starts to grow and it has that authority and stuff like that. So, it's while it might be saturated in terms maybe of the number of sites or maybe the number of new blogs popping up in different topics, in terms of the quality of the stuff out there, I don't see it being saturated.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I have to agree with you then. Almost every niche as well, there's always an opportunity to come in and find keywords that are like not being covered by these big sites. Maybe the big sites are ranking purely just on their authority or their age or their standing with Google. But there's terms which they deem not worthy to go after as well. And if you can find those terms and then craft an awesome piece of content, it's a great way to start in pretty much any niche. So yeah, I agree with you. Okay. If you were to start again, then I kind of want to run through like your process, because it's probably different to mine. I've been doing this for a long time. Like, can we go through almost like a step by step of how you would start a new site? Everything from selecting a niche to research to writing to site setup, and I guess I'll just start from the top. Like, if you start a new site today, how is someone who's been in this space for 2 years? How would you pick your niche? How would you go about that?
So now I got the shiny object syndrome. So I actually have a couple of sites I want to start, and I have a couple of domains sitting there waiting to be started. But for me, I want essentially high affiliate commissions. Now I can't be bothered with the 20 cents from Amazon kind of thing. And for me, it's just something that I genuinely am interested in for myself. So something that I'm actually going to want to work on and things like that. Like, even if I'm outsourcing writers and I'm doing a site maybe on like carpet cleaning or something, like I don't want to read 3,000 words carpet cleaning articles, editing that every day. So that's pretty much as far as I go into niche searching, because obviously I'll have a look at the SERPs and see what's on there, but again, most of the content's so bad anyway. Like, I know if I do a good enough job that I'll rank most of it. After that, in terms of setting up the site was your next question, I think. So it depends on what I'm doing. So my current sites, I use Thrive themes, even though, site speed and blah, blah, blah. But I use Thrive themes on those sites because my main monetization methods are affiliate and digital products. Okay. And my digital products are, I guess you could say, ebook training programs, and then also online courses. And with my funnel, obviously with Thrive themes, you have Thrive Ultimatum, where you can have the countdown timer. Yeah. Then you've got Thrive Leads for the opt-ins. And then I was using Thrive Apprentice for the courses, but then that was being buggy, so I ended up changing that. But I had kind of all that tech stack within one. I didn't have to worry about subscription to, a funnel builder or whatever else. So I had everything on one. And then I also had the page builder as well that could easily do me landing pages and stuff like that. So I was using Thrive themes on my new site that I've JV'd with now. I'm using GeneratePress Premium and then generate blocks. I've just taught myself to use that, which has actually been quite good.
Yeah.
Just to start getting a little leaner. Regarding plugins, it's literally just not much other than, I guess you could say, like rank math, like SEO plugin. That's mainly so I could do like redirections and sitemap and stuff.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, it might be like a caching plugin, maybe a picture compression plugin. And I think that's all I can think of off the top of my head on there.
Yeah. I want to go back to your courses, because that's an area that like I personally lack, and I've stayed away from, mainly because most of my sites are in niches that I know nothing about. Like I couldn't go and create a course because I'm not an expert in the field. I don't think it's a secret. One of my sites is about foxes, and I literally know nothing about foxes at all. How do you go about creating a course? Do you have do you have to test if an idea will work? How do you come up with the topics? What does a course look like? Is it like a PDF? Is it what is that word? Because it's a totally foreign world to me.
Yeah, well, if you listen to any of the, I guess, online course people, they'll tell you to pre-launch it or whatever email list and basically validate it. I basically just didn't do that, and I just launched courses.
Yeah.
But I did it in a way where I wanted it to fit my funnel. So my funnel goes in logical steps where I basically copied Miles Beckler is where I basically modeled my info product funnel from. So I just did, they sign up, they get a one-time offer of the training program, and then after that they get upsold on the course. But I made sure that the courses and the training program are related. So for example, it might be like strength training for whatever, and the course will be about strength training, but how they can do it, how they can basically educational in terms of you do this course, you'll be able to create your own program, avoid the mistakes, etc., etc. So I've kind of just built it in a way that it makes logical sense in the funnel, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the other part that holds you back is I'd probably be one of those people that wouldn't launch it until it's perfect. Do you ever get that kind of fear, or you just put it up, it's good enough now and I can improve it over time? How does that work?
I just smash it out and then I just put it up and then I just sell it and then I say I'm going to do lifetime updates and then I'll update it whenever I need to, or if someone comes back to me about something, if sometimes I'll get people emailing me certain things and I'll just ask them if there's anything else, anything I've missed in there or anything that needs to be clarified better, things like that. And then if they give me something, then I'll update it. But so far I haven't had anything back in terms of extras. But that's basically just the route I take with it.
Have you explored finding affiliates for your product as well? So you become the affiliate owner in that case, and other websites start promoting your products then?
Yeah, I was looking down that road. I got a colleague of mine to make a course for me in an area that he's an expert in. And then I basically gave him his own affiliate for it. But I haven't gone down the road so much of finding affiliates. I've reached out to a few sites to see if they wanted to be affiliates, but it's tough to obviously get emails back on a lot of those too.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't gone too far down the road. I think eventually, as I start to look at other ways to expand the monetization, I'll probably go down that road at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Have you tried paid traffic? I know Miles Beckler does a lot of. Once his funnel is optimized, he runs paid traffic and stuff. Have you got to that point yet?
Yeah, I haven't run the ads. I set up the pixel. I have a friend here that owns a pretty big business here in New Zealand. He helped me set up a whole lot of Facebook, the whole Facebook account and set it up all nicely and things. But I haven't had the balls to do it because income's variable month to month at the moment. Depending on the site. And I'm like, I don't want to just throw things in there. I want to kind of make more sales just so I can have a little more better targeting on the pixel before doing something like that, and just kind of focus on that one avenue of growing the traffic through the blog and then also maybe through like YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, congratulations on just getting a Facebook account set up. I've worked here for an agency in the past running those campaigns, and even just getting that far at the moment is hard. It's
Oh
for
man.
such a big platform and such a big company where people spend so much money. The platform is horrible to use. Horrible.
Yeah. It's clunky and just, yeah. Don't know what the hell's going on.
No, no. That's really cool though. So I guess of the income from that site, like what's the rough split between your own products that you've created versus like affiliate income where you're recommending other products?
Depends on the month. Like over Black
Yeah.
Friday, Christmas, it was like 90% affiliate. It was pretty nuts. But then like this month, it's like shit, it'll be maybe like 70-80% info of my digital
Oh wow.
products. Well, if the listeners tune in for the first podcast that I host, I have a guest on that helped me with some of my monetization for my digital products. And that basically, what he gave me essentially doubled my revenue on my digital products. So that's
Oh
been
wow.
really, really good. And we'll share that with the listeners in a week or two.
That's a little teaser because now I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I want to know. Awesome. That's really cool. I'm assuming Miles is teaching as well is obviously not to put display ads on the site because you detract away from your own stuff. Did you go down that route, or did you also put display ads on there
Yeah.
and try and make some more money that way?
Nah, I took the display ads off too. I was like, I'm just gonna go straight clean brand. I mean, even if you're using, because I sometimes use the like Thrive Architect to build my blogs. So sometimes I use the page builder, even though I guess not recommended, site speed, blah blah blah. Even with the site speed, I still rank top 3 for a lot of terms. So I'm just like whatever. But because I'm building tables and whatever else, I'll use that. So when you try to put ads on there, you have to manually place them.
Yeah.
Instead of actually just letting go. So I was like, I'm not going to bother with that crap anyway. And then if my site's already not as fast as it should be, I'm going to slow it down even further. And I'd rather just focus on, monetizing the digital products and really pumping those and the affiliate stuff.
That makes sense. Just a quick one on that. We don't use the Thrive theme. We use Astra, but we do use Thrive Page Builder for usually for the homepage, category pages, and any kind of commercial best of pages. And just before at the end of last year, Thrive released an update to the code. And if you go into the global settings now, you can run an optimization on there, and then you can also turn on the box to disable like different types of fonts loading and stuff. That coupled with a caching plugin we use auto optimize, we've been able to get even the Thrive pages green on mobile and desktop on Google's page speed test. So might be worth you just going back through and having a little play around with that.
And
I don't know about
redoing
the
it.
theme, but on the page builder side.
Yeah, because I did that on the other site that I acquired from the beginning, and when they released that, I did that on my main site, but it screwed something up on there. And then I just reverted it, and then I stopped using it. So I have to revisit it and see.
Yeah, and I don't use Thrive Apprentice. I know you just mentioned it and you moved away from it, but I still follow Thrive, and I see that they released a new version 4 this week. I don't know what's different. But it might be worth, if you've already got the plugin, revisiting and having a little look, see what's new.
Yeah, well, I moved all the course, so I use Thrivecart for all my digital products, and they launched a course platform free with it, which is their Thrivecart Learn, and it's actually it's nice. It's clean, and the fact that they're already going through Thrivecart to buy the stuff, and then it's integrated already with their course. It kind of just makes it easy as well. And they're releasing updates constantly and stuff. So it's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, I want to go back to kind of like the process now. Then I want to dig a little bit into your methodology for keyword research. That's one area that I see people asking questions about all the time. How do they do good keyword research? How do you approach it? What's your method?
So I use a few different free plugins on Google. Most of them I think do the same thing anyway, but I get multiple things. I got the Uber Suggest plugin, or extension, I should say. And then I've got obviously the Mozbar, Keyword Surfer, and Keywords Everywhere. And I just use all the free stuff. And I'll do all my search terms. So I don't know, maybe let's just use like blue pen example or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll start with blue pen and just see what comes up on the things for other terms, and I'll start going to like the longer tails or questions. I'll type blue pen and then press spacebar and just see what comes up and just go through.
Yeah.
And then once I start finding terms, I'll just have a quick look at the search volume that Ubersuggest or Keywords Everywhere gives.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it as such because I'm planning on covering pretty much every topic anyway. But then I'll essentially go through the SERP and just have a quick look at the DA of the site's ranking there. Just have a quick squiz just to see the general competition.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll usually look at some of the articles as well, because even if some of the sites might be, I guess, medium, high domain authority, I mean, if the content sucks, then I know I'm going to be able to write a better piece anyway. And so that's pretty much how I'll do it. I'll just go through all the different keywords doing that. Sometimes I'll use like Ahrefs and stuff like that just to get get a whole bunch of keywords first, and then take those keywords back into Google, then find more of the long tails that don't show up there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It's just basically looking through the SERP and just seeing what's there, checking the domain authority, and then going from there.
Do you worry about search volume at all? I know you said you use Ubersuggest and stuff, but if you think it makes sense and it's got a low or no search volume, would you still go after that?
Yeah, usually. Just because I know I'm going to depending on the niche, like one of the niches I'm in now, there's topics, but there's not that many topics on what I'm trying to cover. So I just cover everything. I don't care in terms of that volume. As long as it's being searched, I'll cover it. In terms of the bigger ones, it just depends. Like right now for my bigger fitness site, because it's more in general fitness, everything has a shit ton of search volume. So I'm not going to go after zero search volumes for that one. And it's already got authority and relevancy and all that stuff. So
that's a great methodology. I was literally doing some research this week for one of our customers, and the niche is, I guess, you consider it quite narrow, like a smallish niche. And initially, I just started using Ahrefs to pull out the questions and everything like that. And I mean, there was search volume there, but it wasn't massive. And then I used the Google Autosuggest, and it pulled out things I would literally. They weren't in Ahrefs. Like when I put them through to pull out the volume, they just weren't in the database. You get that little error at the top. But they would definitely be things people who were interested in this space would be searching for. And because they appear in the Autosuggest or the people also ask box, I mean, it's a pretty good indicator that people are searching for them. Otherwise, Google wouldn't put them in there. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the same process.
Yeah. I guess the other thing the one thing that we do on top of that then is once we've got that list of questions, and I think this part is quite important, is we then Google the list of questions, see what the results are, and I think you go through to the site. But what we do is we amend the title slightly, because what I find is that people also ask question sometimes can be worded a little weirdly or like a little bit funny, for example, but then amend the title to match what's on the titles for page one for that search. So almost like you've got what the topic should be about, but rather than using the question title, just amend it to match like the intent that's on there. And we found that works really, really well, because it'll be things that you wouldn't think to include just based if you just use the question. I guess like an example would be, how to freeze bananas, and then if you go like that, like the titles might be how to freeze bananas and how long do they last in the freezer. Like that might be the titles that you see, and you wouldn't necessarily know to include that last little part on how long do they last in the freezer unless you've done the search and seen what else was being included in there.
No, exactly. And that's obviously that comes out of the part of the writing the content too, like you start to incorporate the people also ask stuff and the other related searches.
Well, yeah, I mean, that leads me on lovely to talk to me about. I know Income School have their very specific kind of teachings on how to write, do the writing and stuff. I'm assuming you started with that and then you've branched out to your own kind of unique methodologies. Usually the way it goes, you start with a structure and then you go off and do your own thing. Like, how does that look for you, especially now that you're involved in doing lots of the writing still?
Yeah, like the Income School content, I guess you could say their plan structure is, I really, really like it. I basically just follow that now. In terms of having that short intro, the answer paragraph to get the snippet. That's been huge. And then the short lead in. And then what I'll do is I'll essentially do all my headers before. I guess most people probably do it this way anyway, but I'll just get all my headings first in the article. So all my H2s, and my H2s will be essentially all the main topics. So I'll scroll down to the bottom to the related searches, see if there's anything in the related searches that wouldn't be its own search term that would be related to whatever it is. So I'll add those as H2s, and then I'll go back up to the people also ask section. I'll add those as H2s depending on what's relevant, and any H3s if there needs to be. And then I'll open like the first 3 or 4 pages and just see if there's anything like common between them or something that I've missed that they're all talking about or whatever is talking about, and just see if there's anything else in there. And then I'll add those as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then once I've got all the headings in and stuff like that, and then I'll just start writing it.
Do you try and make your content the same length or similar length as what's already on page 1, or you don't really care? You just cover the topic until it's either longer or shorter.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of the stuff, like if you see really long content, a lot of it has like related questions that aren't related, and then the stuff that's really short is just doesn't really cover everything.
So there's a happy middle ground in there. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And then expired domains. I mean, it's a big part of, or age domains, I should say. It's a big part of kind of what we do at Niche Website Builders. And I know you've got a little bit of experience around them. What have you done with them? Have you built a site on one? Have you redirected? What's your experience with them?
Both. So currently building on one as part of a JV project at the moment. And then within my main site, I've redirected one there. And with the redirection, I just followed Mushfiq's method of doing it. Basically, I just created a press release page, basically saying that my site acquired this new or this domain or site, a little bit about both. And then essentially I listed my most popular articles, or basically the ones I want the juice to flow through to, exact match anchors within each line, and then redirected the domain to that page, and then just bought a press release basically for that page too. And then, that one didn't have any external pages that I needed to redirect, so I only had the homepage to worry about in terms of links and stuff. So, but I mean, if I had other content, so I actually had one for a pet site that I did. I just bought a couple of pieces of content and then just basically put them up, let them index, then just one-to-one redirected them over, and then basically the whole domain.
Okay, so you put the site live, put the couple of pieces of content, let it index and rank, and then did the redirect.
Yeah.
Or how did you find that worked in comparison to just redirecting it straight to the acquisition page like you did with the other one? Was it better, quicker? Did you see? No,
the other one I did put some content on to index as well.
Okay.
So I did both the same. So I put them, So I haven't gone the route of just taking it and redirecting it. I've just put some pieces of content on there, just let it kind of start getting crawled, and then threw it over.
Awesome. Yeah, because we've done it. We've always done it the other way, where we don't put it live and we do the redirect. However, we're currently testing with one of our customers who wants to test the other way that you've done, where we've put put the domain live, put content on there. It's pretty much ready to be redirected over now, and it'll be interesting to see which one we think, which one works best, basically, because we can adapt the process. But we've had great success doing it the one way, and I'm really excited to see how this other way works, the way you literally just explained it. So it'd be cool to see how they both work.
Yeah. You have to let me know how that goes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's part of obviously having you come and do some more of the hosting, is that it's going to free up me and Mark to do more content around these kinds of cool things that we're testing, but like we're not sharing too much of the public details on, and we want to share this stuff with everyone. So I can't wait to start sharing this kind of stuff.
No, that's awesome.
Just with the expired domains, or the age domains, I keep saying that. I mean, people use the term, but I think age domains.
We're just using it interchangeably.
Yeah. Where are you finding them? Are you using like Otis? Or you go in straight to auction?
Yeah, mainly through broker, just because sifting through like auction stuff and expired domains like .net and stuff is like time consuming. Like
Yeah,
it's almost like a black hole you go down. So I mean, I'll spend some time on there every now and then just to see what's going on, but I'll also look at the brokers just because obviously they've bought something that's decent and just kind of have a look and just see if there's anything relevant or anything like that. So yeah, mainly just do brokers just because it's less time consuming at the moment, but also searching for stuff that's not on brokers as well, just in case.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel the pain on the time drain on searching. Every Sunday evening. I say Sunday evening. It's pretty much half of my Sunday day is spent looking through domains for the week, and it's ridiculous. I actually looked this week on the filters that we use just to get the initial list. There was like 4,000 domains, and then from there it came down to a short list of 20, and then we ended up actually trying to acquire like 4. There's literally from 4,000 down to 4, and it takes hours and hours and hours to do all the right check-in and due diligence and stuff. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. One other thing you mentioned kind of prior to this call, which I want to let you expand on because I think it's important, is leveraging the expertise to your advantage and the importance of it. What do you mean by that? What is that?
So, like, I guess in my experience, my expertise is within, I guess you say, fitness, strength, conditioning side. So I'm using that on my website. So the content that I write, I mean, it's completely different to the stuff that's on the SERPs. So when I read the stuff that's with a lot of this fitness content, a lot of it is just factually wrong. Just because it's written by, like, it's just written by general fitness people, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, almost every single one of my articles, I'm referencing out journal articles, like studies, essentially.
Yeah.
And that studies I'll go read. So not just referencing stuff like people will say just to go to Google Scholar and, you know, do something. I'll go, like, for example, I have an article that's, for example, on, I don't want to give away too much. Let's just say it's on a certain way of training. I'll do a full deep dive into the research on that thing, and I'll essentially do like a whole literature review as my article within my headlines, basically. And so like some articles have 20, 30 references, all linking out to, you know, different studies and stuff like that, and kind of giving my views on it, and then also giving my experience on whatever it is. So like I have one topic where actually I have a few topics where the norm in this sport is to do this certain thing, but my article says don't do this thing, yet I still rank number 1 or top 3, even though it's essentially saying the opposite to what all the other articles on the front page are saying. And I think that's where expertise comes in, where I can offer, you know, a differing opinion, maybe backed up by maybe it's references, my own experience and stuff like that. And I think that helps. I mean, it must help something because things are ranking. So that's kind of how I've leveraged my own expertise. And then same thing. So I have some writers that I outsource for my sites, and people say don't go to Fiverr, but Fiverr is the only place that I've been able to find like actual specialists or experts in certain niches. Like when you go into Upwork and stuff or whatever, it's, you know, like content writing experts and stuff. But I don't want a content or SEO writing expert. You know, I don't care about that. I don't care if you've never written before. I want you to be, you know, the guy that does this thing every day. And then I'll send you the brief with the headlines, and you just fill everything in based on, you know, what you know. And then that's what I want on my site. I don't want just, you know, random stuff. So same thing with my affiliate content. Like for my affiliate content, I have a friend who was a professional athlete and stuff like that, and used a lot of the equipment that I wanted to review on my site. So I got him to basically write up my product reviews, because he's used all the equipment. He owns some of the equipment. He can give me some original stuff. Even if he doesn't have the equipment, he's used it before, and he's got the background to show that he has used it before. So we can offer insights into how to use them and stuff like that. So that's kind of how the route I've kind of taken with my sites in terms of expertise. And then yeah, essentially, mainly if I'm not getting a writer, it's mainly linking out to actual sources. So I don't link out to any other sites, no authority sites or whatever else. I only link out to essentially Google Scholar stuff, but I make sure to actually read the stuff as well.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, I kind of do that anyway, because that was my, student edition was my job kind of thing. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think that's going above and beyond what most affiliate site owners do. Is that the reason why you still write most of the content, because it's hard to find? Yeah, I imagine that's
100%.
hard to scale unless it's you, or you find an expert, or you've got a friend or something.
So what I usually do is I'll outsource like more of the fluff stuff. So if there's like something that I know that I'm going to have to do a bunch of research on and build like almost like a literature review, if there's something that's really, I don't know, just something that doesn't need much research, like a simple topic within that niche, like should you do this or whatever, I'll outsource that so I don't have to write it, because I don't like to find the motivation to write stuff like that. I'm just like, no. Whereas when I can deep dive into a topic that I want to learn more about or whatever, then that's what I'll do.
It's interesting you say that, because going back, one of my first sites, and I've not really done it since, but it worked really well. I think it's because, again, most affiliate marketers are lazy, and I'm guilty of that. But I did something similar where I got involved in lots of the Facebook groups. It was in the barbecue and kind of smoking space, and that audience is really passionate. They love what they do. It's a hobby. They absolutely go wild for it. And there's lots of Facebook groups where these people just talk about it's their hobby, it's their passion. And it took some time going in there and posting as just as one of them. But over time, I was able to then start asking them for like what their recommendation was. And I remember I did this awesome piece on like what the best different flavors of wood are for different foods. And I got tons of information from these people in the groups. So I literally put out the post like, what's your best flavor wood for certain types of food? And it was awesome. It was like, I use this because of this, and I was able to quote it. And then I also then started asking them to send me pictures of them with food they've cooked, and pictures of them with their grills and stuff. And before long, like, my site was full of this totally unique content that I'd never been able to do. Actual real life images, like quotes and opinions from people who do this all the time. And the site was just grew incredibly quick. And I was doing lots of other stuff at the time, so I can't say it was specifically that, but that was a great way to get unique content from, like, I'd class them experts in the field without having to pay. You pay in time, because it took me a long time to become trusted in the group. But yeah, that was awesome. It sounds like a back doorway into what you were doing potentially as well.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing like Harrow on Facebook.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. You can't just go and start, though. And the other thing that was really cool about that was obviously the brands were lurking around in these groups, and one of them reached out and said, "Hey, like, we've seen your website, we've seen you interacting in the group and stuff. Can we send you a grill to review?" And I'm here in the UK where but we don't have grills in the UK. Like, we have rubbish, crappy barbecues. We don't have smokers and stuff. I was like, yes, 100%. Here's my address. And they're like, oh, you're in the UK. We thought you were in the US. We can't ship
only US. Yeah.
Oh man. So I didn't get one, but that would have been awesome. Like, I would have been able to have one for free and review it. And you don't know where that kind of brand partnership might have led then in the future.
Exactly. I mean, I've got a partnership with a brand that I'm an affiliate for. Just because I met them when I was in the States through my job in professional rugby, and like since then been in touch, got all their gear for free, like everything, great commissions, like it's awesome, and I just basically promote their products.
Yeah, it's win-win all around.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, I think this has been great. I think this is a great introduction to who you are, kind of what you're doing, where you're up to in this journey. Is there anything that I missed, or anything you want to add or cover off before we kind of wrap it up for the day?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. Just everyone can stay tuned for the next couple of weeks for the first couple of guests. I've got some good ones lined up. One of them is going to be talking about the digital product stuff that we talked about. He actually makes his living selling online courses. So for those who want to kind of branch out from the affiliate marketing, digital or advertising route. And then another one in the high ticket affiliate space. And he makes his living on essentially high ticket affiliate and even in the high ticket crypto affiliate side. So that'll be really cool too. It's something a little different outside of the advertising and general niche site stuff.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear those myself.
No, that should be good.
Great. All right. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna get back to. I know we had a little bit of a lull over November and December, where it was a busy time in the business, but we're going to try and get back to doing releasing one of these podcasts every week now. So, stay tuned. Watch out for our emails, and like I say, James has got some awesome guests coming up as well. So, really excited for that. But James, it's been great having you. I'm super excited for you to start doing more of this with us and listening to your guests. And appreciate you taking the time to chat to us and introduce yourself to our audience.
No, perfect. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Cheers, James.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're listening to the podcast version of this episode, please subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Please rate and review, as this will allow us to grow our audience and create more shows like this one. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to be the first to know about any new episodes that we release. Until the next episode, goodbye.